Greetings, friends. Jason here for AxodysFC. It is Sunday afternoon, my time. A very hot day here in Spokane. Like 95 degrees Fahrenheit right now. So I'm hiding in the shade, picking a spot that I can, briefly talk about today's Newcastle result. Started bright and early my time, 5:30. I had my alarm set, but didn't end up getting down to catch the game until it was like almost halftime. I was looking at, I was making some coffee, looking at my phone just to see, how we were doing, and it was still like 0-0, fairly late in the first half, and so I was like, I was just like going about my business, getting my usual coffee, and then, figure I'd catch the end of the half. And sure enough, I did. And sure enough, almost immediately after I started watching, Newcastle had that we switched off. They threw it in quickly and got a great shot to go up 1-0 shortly before the half. So that was frustrating. I was surprised by the starting lineup and kind of concerned going forward. So no Mickey Van de Ven. Dragusin got the start on the right with Romero moving over to the left. That's fine and actually good for Dragusin to get some minutes and stuff. And overall, he had a very good game, had some nice save situations in his own way. Up front, we had no striker options because not only is Solanke out right now, but at the moment also Richarlison picked up some kind of knock, and furthermore, Will Lancashire had an issue. So all three of our possible true striker options were not available. So, that points to, would Ange start Son there? No, actually, he went with the false nine with, which allowed Kulusevski to go there, and I think actually in this matchup, a better scenario often. Based on last season, what happened when Son was playing the 9 against Newcastle. He didn't have that hold-up capability that we needed. And so, anyway, a good adjustment in my mind. And so, Odebear got the start on the right. Son was the start on the left, of course. And then in the midfield, it was Madison, Sarr, and Basuma. Good. Looks like a, fine choice to me. And it seemed to work out that way up until that first issue. But at the same time, a couple guys ended up on yellow cards, including Sarr, I believe. And so, anyway, to start the second half, Ange immediately went to bring in Brennan Johnson for Sarr, but then he moved Kulusevski out of that false nine role into the midfield role, so more attacking midfield. Brennan Johnson on the right wing, Son through the middle now, and and on the left, Odebear. And so, and so overall, we dominated the ball well out of the gate. Having Kulusevski in that midfield role actually makes up for Son's, challenges as a hold-up striker. But at the same time, we definitely saw a lot of frustrating crosses to no one. Brennan Johnson looked great, actually. He was attacking down the flank and really putting pressure on them, getting crosses and forcing corners, but we weren't doing anything with those crosses, unfortunately. There was one play, and I forget the sequence exactly how it played out, but essentially Odebear had a great opportunity. Instead of going for the header, which it was clear diving header scenario, he tried to like corral it with a high kick, essentially. Totally not the correct play to deal with that pass, and so yeah, that was frustrating. Odebear definitely didn't have a great match overall. Let's see. Anyway, ultimately, it came down to forcing an own goal from Dan Burns. And if he hadn't tried to clear it, it would have gone out of bounds probably. But that was generated from a Brennan Johnson cross/attempt, which he actually, it was weird in that he kind of half volleyed it, but he kicked it down into the ground so that it bounced up, and Nick Pope, couldn't deal with it quite right. And anyway, it wasn't in danger of going in or getting to anyone, but Dan Byrne kind of attempted to clear it and cleared it right into his own goal. So that was a great moment there. But then essentially we never capitalized on all our other chances, even though there were many, and we dominated possession, and really were overall in the ascendancy, looking good, really promising. And then I would say, as I've noted in really our first two games, I would say I feel like Ange is not substituting soon enough. We've got guys that are flagging, like Madison, at that hour mark, and I really want to see substitutions earlier, because our intensity, it's been noticeable. There's like a lapse in the second half where it just wanes, and we've got guys that can come in and ramp that intensity right back up. But it's not happening. And so anyway, I kind of blame that a little bit on the sequence that led to Newcastle's second goal. We were already thinking about bringing in Bergvall and Bentancur. They were like warming up on the sideline or whatever. But anyway, the sequence was essentially Madison didn't do a good job of pressing Joel Linton well enough, like went in for a tackle, missed it or something, essentially got bypassed because of his kind of half-hearted defense in that sequence, allowed a long direct pass right through the heart of the defense to Murphy, I think, who was able to set up Isak. But the thing was, too, in addition to that, with our high line there, we were perfectly set up for a high line trap to have them both those guys be offside. All three out of the four defenders were set up. Unfortunately, Dragusin went with Isak, I think, on that one, and essentially played on Murphy because of that. And so very frustrating, particularly since he had done such a good job otherwise. But yeah, that play, we didn't press the passer enough, and didn't step up as one to make those guys offside. But frustrating. Other than that, pretty good. And I just felt like when the substitutes did come in, they didn't have enough time to have much of an impact. And we were chasing at that point too. So very frustrating. The one other thing, just kind of at the end of the game too, the last couple minutes, there was time for us to get the ball into the box, and we screwed around with it. It was bizarre. Very frustrating. how I would say there were at least a few back passes at a time when we needed to be like, time was running out, and we had possession and an opportunity to like get in one good attack into the box, and we did not do it efficiently. So that was disappointing. Overall, a much better result than we've had up there in the last 2 years. We're seeing good things from the squad overall so far. The bones are there for what we're trying to do, but we've lacked that attacker that is pretty key to finishing all the opportunities we're going to generate in the box. And I've just been frustrated by our lack of being clinical in the final third and capitalizing on the way we're dominating possession. Our defense has not been terrible. It's been decent. It should be good enough. We've just got to be up, another goal or two, definitely. And we just haven't been able to do that with our strikers injured. And and then the other piece of the puzzle or worry is that I saw today that Mickey van der Ven has been dropped by, he isn't being called up by Koeman for Netherlands during this international break. How serious is what's going on with his knee? And it's just a little worrisome that we haven't heard much in that regard since. And it's frustrating that he played on it for a whole half after, what was clearly a pretty serious hyperextension situation. Is he, did he do more damage to it by continuing to play and doing that crazy run at the end of the Everton game? I don't know. But anyway, injuries already impacting things this early, and frustrating. So beyond that, in other games today, actually Chelsea drew with Crystal Palace and in a 1-1 draw, and Liverpool took it to Man United at Old Trafford, 3-0 win. Kind of love to see that, to be honest. We need to get things sorted out. We've got Arsenal immediately after the break. At least it's, the home fixture. But, it's definitely... This season, it's clear we're not going to come racing out of the gate like we did last year, which I think ultimately I would say I'd rather struggle a little bit early and then finish strong, make serious inroads in some cups, and challenge for the Europa League. And in particular, if we're clearly out of the Premier League race, there's no reason we can't prioritize, cup and European competitions. And so the silver lining to falling behind quickly out of the gate is that, yes, there's no excuses not to prioritize those other competitions. So, we'll see what happens. But for now, I'm going to get back into my air-conditioned house. As always, thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy these. And I think what I have to say today is stay the course. So until next time.